Good day guys, this is your host Ali Rothwell from TechWrath, and today we're going to make a low poly water. So this one is a bit shaded smooth, and if you click shade flat, it's going to show you a low poly water, but we're going to make it smooth and shiny, and we're going to animate it in the next tutorial. Welcome back guys. Now to begin with, this is a reminder that this is going to be a beginner's tutorial, so I will follow every step very slowly that you guys can follow me and copy me, and I'll tell you about each option, so I won't rush it. Again, for those of you who are experts or who have a hand on Blender and you think this is pretty slow, then you need to show some patience, because this is for the ones that are absolute beginners. So here we go. We're going to start with, and I've got the keys on the left hand side, so you guys can see every single key, the right click or the left click or the key that I press. Now to begin with, when you'll start with a new maybe Blender, you'll have a by default key. So you get new general, and you'll have a by default cube, right? So I'll start with this. You'll have a camera, you'll have a cube, and you'll have a light. Now about the Blender, this is Blender version 3.31. I'm just going to show it to you guys about Blender 3.2.1, but these things are the same. If you're using the 9-point version on older versions, that's fine as well. So to begin with, I'm on a PC on a keyboard, so I'm just gonna press the letter A. You can see here A, and press the delete to delete everything. Now I'm gonna press the numpad 1 key to come in the front, and I can use my mouse rolling button or the middle button to go 3D. So we'll start with 3D. Now we're gonna add our mesh, so press Shift A, and you'd see this menu. Now go to mesh, and then go to the plane object. So construct a filled thinner mesh with 4 vertices. So click that, and you'll have a flat. If you've pressed 1, you'll see a line, but you can drag your mouse, or you can press the 7 key on the numpad to go to the top view. So I'm just going to scroll my wheel up to zoom and see how this looks. Now the first thing we need to do is to create the water. We need some vertices. At the moment, if you press tab, you'll go into the edit mode. If you press tab again, you'll come out of the edit mode into the object mode. If you can click on the left side if you don't have a shortcut, and you can click the edit mode, but we don't need the edit mode at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the object with our left key and press Ctrl E. Oh, sorry, we need to go into the left click the object and press the tab key to go into the edit mode. Then go to the third option, or you can press the key 3 to go into the surface selection. Now press Ctrl E. It'll give you an option of the edge, and we're going to select the Subdivide option. Click the Subdivide option, and on the left hand side bottom side you'll see an option saying Subdivide. So click that one, and it'll show you some different options. So the first option would be how many loop cuts you need. By default it'll say 1, so we'll go for maybe 25. Yep, you can go for 20, you can go for 30, it's up to you. It's not a fixed thing. So once we select this, you can see it's already made cuts in our plane. Now you can minimize this one and click anywhere. Now coming back to our main area, I'm going to press the numpad 7 key. It'll take you to the top view, and I'm gonna drag my left mouse and select all the surface. Again, reminder, you have in the edit mode, we've pressed the third icon, which is the select faces mode, right? Now pressing in the middle mouse, I'm just going to show you what we've done. So we've selected this. Now again, we're trying to make low poly water, so I'm going to press the letter E to extrude and make a height of this water So I'm just going to press E, and then I'm going to press the Z to fix it on the Z-axis only. Oh, sorry, Z-axis, Z. So you can see the line. So it's fixed on the Z-axis. So even if I move my mouse left and right, it won't leave that axis. But if you wanna, if you're using this and you don't wanna make it on the Z-axis, or you need a free hand, just press the Z button again. Like you can press E and press the Z to leave it, and then you see you can move it around. But for us, we're gonna press the Z button, and the height is totally up to you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys feel? So for me, this model, I'm just gonna leave it to here. So the difference is that we're not using cube and we're using plane, is because if you use a cube and you use the subdivide, it's gonna have you know, cuts on the horizontal side as well, the x-axis, rather than just having it on the y-axis. So once this is done, I hope you guys are following. Press the 7 numpad key to go to the top, then press the second icon for selecting the edges, or press the 2 key in the edit mode to go to the edge select. So what's the edge select? Edge is this line, like this and this. So these are the edges. If you press 1, these are the vertices, and if you press 3, these are the faces. So for us, we're going to press 2 to go into the edges. Now either you can press shift and do one by one, or what you can do is press alt and shift, right? Alt and shift, keep pressing it, and click on the edge of one side. Anything that is connected, it's gonna connect, and the other side, and the third side, and we're gonna do it for the fourth side. So if I rotate, and you see we've selected the outer edge of our plane. Once that is done, now we're gonna give it a bit of a depth to give our animation and our water a bit of depth and character and waves. So we're going to use what's called a bevel. So press Ctrl and B. You can see there's a dotted line, and move your mouse away to give it a bit of depth. I hope you guys are following. So that was Ctrl B, and then move your mouse a bit away from the plane, and you'll have something like this. So I'm just going to press 7 to go to the top view. This is where the fun begins. Now I'm going to press the 3 button to select the faces, and drag your left mouse all over your object plane, and everything will be selected. Right now, what you need to do is on your right hand side, you'll see these icons. So there's this wrench icon. If you put your mouse on there, it says Modifier Properties. So click that. It'll give you the object name that you've selected and add modifier. So we're going to click add modifier, and you're going to see a bunch of modifiers which you can read about one by one, but the one we are looking for is called Displaced. So in the Blender 3.2.1 version, it's on the third column, 1, 2, 3, 4th. Displace, that's the modifier we need. So we're just gonna click it, and we have these options. Now coming back to your model, I'm just gonna press my middle mouse button and drag it to a 3D view. You can do it by here or by the axis, and you can move around here, but I like to do it with my middle mouse button. I apologize if my voice goes down or up. I've just got a sore throat, so my apologies for any coughing, or if I just become quiet, to give my throat a bit of rest. So coming back, so with this plane we have a displace modifier. What you need to do is click the new. This is going to add a new texture, right? So I'm just going to click new, and you see it says texture. You can click on the left icon which says browse textures to be linked. So just to see how many textures you've added, you might have 5, 10, or maybe 1. So once this is done, you need to make sure at the moment, because we're not animating it in this tutorial, we'll do it in the next one, the coordinates are normal. The direction is at the moment normal. Strength is 1. The mid level is 0.5, and the vertex group is 0. Now we need to add texture to this plane to give it a look of the water. What we're going to do is in in the previous versions you might have options after this one which says type, but in I think 9.1 and Blender 3.2 or 3.1 and the latest ones, look at the fourth icon next to the cross. If you take your mouse there, it says show texture in texture tab. That's the one you need to click. I hope you guys can see this one. It's the fourth icon, the last one, which says show texture in the texture tab. We're going to click it. Once you click it, your interface is going to change. So I'm just going to click it and see. Now if you look at the icons carefully, we've just gone on the last one. So this is the texture that shows we're going to put in on our plane. Now you've got displace, you've got texture, then the type. This is what we're going to change. So at the moment it's selected to image or movie. You might have something else, but the one we are looking for is called clouds. So this is the clouds one that we've actually picked up, right? Now coming to noise basis, Blender Original, we're going to keep it to Blender Original. We're going to keep it type to soft. We're going to keep the color to grayscale, and we're going to play around with the size, depth, and nabia at the moment. So we're going to change these ones later, but the next thing which we're going to do is we are going to go back to our modifier, and we're going to see the texture, local, direction, strength, and these things. Then we've just checked these values, they haven't changed, they're the same. The thing is, we're going to go to the option called object data properties. You'll have these three nodes, so click that. This is where we're going to assign these to a vertex group. So on the right hand side, you'll click the plus icon which says add a vertex group, and we're gonna double click it and rename it. My shortcut has changed the language, so we're gonna change it to water group and press enter. Now in Blender, sometimes the bug is if you press F2 and change it, it won't change the name. So double click it and change it. And the most important part is you need to click the assign button at the bottom to assign these selected vertices to this vertex. Once this is selected, then we need to go back to the modifier with this wrench icon, modifier properties. Now in this option, you have to look at the last option, which is vertex group. Click it and you'll see this is the vertex group that we've selected. You'll have that option as well. Click that one, and then you'll see if you change the strength or you change the direction. Oh, sorry, we need to change the direction now. This is normal. Now we're going to do Z-axis. So why are we doing Z-axis? Because we need the water to go vertically up and down. So we're going to change the Z-axis. The moment we'll change it, you'll see a bit of difference that comes here. So what we're going to do is change the strength. So we can do maybe change it to, I'm just going to use it 0.35. Mid-level is fine as well, and space is local, that's fine as well. So coming back to this one, so we're going to do 1. Now we're going to do 0.35 maybe, and we're going to use 4, and nabia is the exact same. Now the values that you've put size, this can change, and this can change. So once these are my values that I've written. Now coming back to the modifier, if you can't see any changes here, that's because we haven't clicked this icon that is like the edit mode icon. So once you click this, voila, you can see the changes here. I hope you guys are getting this one. So once this is done, we're just going to change the strength to 1 to show you guys how far this comes. So I'm just going to use it 0.35. Coming back to this one, this is fine as well. So going back to the modifier, and we've told the vertex group as well how this is going to be done. Now I am in the viewport shading settings. That's why you can't see a lot of difference, right? Now what you can do is, if you guys like, you can do a 0.5. If you're going to do 0.25, so this changes the depth of this one, and if you do like 0.9, it goes really down. 0.5, so it shows what's going to be the height of the waves. So all these values are not fixed, you can play around them, but the ones that I have is in modifier. I'll repeat it again. Coordinates to local, direction Z, space local, strength is 0.350, and mid-level is 0.5, and the vertex group. Going back to the vertex group, sorry, the textures, we have cloud. So we have noise basis, Blender original, type is soft, color grayscale, size is 0.35, depth is 4, and the NABL enabler, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's 0.03. So the depth, if you guys want to do like 2, it changes the depth of this one, but for me, I think even if we keep it like 5 or 2, 1, it's up to you. Let's keep it 2. All right, now at this moment your model is complete. So if you go out of the of the edit mode to object mode, the structure of the model is complete. Now again, this is not a fixed model, you guys can change it as you like. Now the next step is coloring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the top side, the shading section. So if you will see this top, if you guys can't see this one, just go to Windows and you can select, you can make this one, or you can click the plus icon here, add workspace, and add your shading from section from here, right? So I'm just gonna go to shading, where did shading, click it, and you'll see our model here, right? Now you guys might have a different setting, but I'm gonna make it simple. So coming back here, we are in the viewport shading section, and in this area we have the world model. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to make the world opacity to 0, so we have a clean model, and just ignore that, I just pressed the button. So well, you can press Alt and Z to go into the extra mode, but we don't need that. So we're going to go to viewport shading and see these options. Show overlay is clicked. Now for most of you guys, if you select the object, you won't have anything here because we need to add material to it. So click the new one. You can rename it like water material and press enter. So these are by default values. I'm just gonna scroll my mouse middle button and zoom in so you guys can see the values. So like again, these values are not fixed, but these are my values, so you guys can use the ones that you like, or you can suggest me in the comment section a better property or better shading so we can improve this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the base color. So you can use any blue, but the one that I am using, I've already done this one, is the color code for this one is, I think, 00C1E7. Yep, that's the one, and the alpha is 1 full total. That's it. Now coming back to subsurface, we're gonna change the value to 1, and the subsurface radius will remain the same, and the color for HexCode for this one, for me, my values are 0076E7, and the alpha for this one is 0.25. Alpha means the transparency, and that's it. All right, now again, color is on you. I'm just gonna click on my middle button and move this thing up so you guys can know. So subsurface IOR, I'm just gonna leave it as it is, and subsurface entropy, I am not going to change it. This one, the specular tint, I am going to leave it. Roughness, we're going to make it 0. Enter. This is basically regarding the reflection of the shine. Now this looks like a lot like water now, right? Now specular tint, I'm gonna make it sorry, leave it. You can play with this, like I'll show you. If you change the value full and if you change the value 0, this doesn't change much. So sheen, I'm gonna make it 1, and sheen tint was also 1. So it's up to you. You see a little bit of change. That's the one that I actually like. Coming back to transmission, you can leave your mouse and see what it does. So I'm gonna try to make it 0.5. So click it and type in 0.5. Transmission roughness 0, emission 0, everything else the same. So I'm just gonna go through it again quickly because this is a beginner's tutorial. So if you guys are looking at your system and doing this, so I'll do it again. You guys can see the values. This is going to be material output as default. So CGX random walk base color, the code is going to be 00C1E7 with alpha 1. Coming back, surface radius, subsurface color 0076E7 and with the alpha 0.250. Alpha meaning the opacity or the transparency of the color. So subsurface IOR 1.4. And we have the metallic 0, specular is 0.5, specular tint is 0, roughness is 0. The rest anisotropic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let me know in the comment section and forgive my pronunciation. English ain't my first language, so. And anisotropic rotation, sheen is 1, sheen tint is 1, clear coat 0, clear coat roughness 0.030. And IOR 1.450. These are the default values. If they change for you, keep it that way. Transmission is 0.500. Transmission roughness 0. Emissions, default color emission strength 1, alpha is 1, and the normal charcoal number and tangent. That's it. So if you come back to on top to the layer tab, and on the top right corner you have the viewport shading, and the second one is viewport shading. So we're not going for the third one because we don't have any camera light setup and the camera, so leave it. You have the second one. So this is our water, right? Shiny, so shiny, my precious. So I'm just gonna move this, what do you guys call it, cursor, like press shift and right click to move it away so we can look at our beautiful water. I hope you guys followed my instructions and made something similar to this one, and make changes and share with us what you guys have made. And again, my apologies for those ones who were looking for a quick answer. This was a beginner's tutorial with every single step slowly explained so that you guys can follow it. And I made this tutorial because a lot of the time the tutorial goes pretty fast with options and they skip some stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And for the second part, we're going to show you how you can actually animate this water in a loop, so it'll keep animating. So you can export that animation, or you can render that animation on a low budget PC as well. You don't need heavy machinery to animate this one. Now I'm just gonna give you, what do you guys call, an Easter bunny stuff, like, right? Easter bunny, let me know in the comment what do you guys say when they have like Easter bunny. So if this looks low poly, right? So if you want to make it a bit smooth, just select the object. You're going to be in the object mode, click right click on the object and click shade smooth, and look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? So this becomes immediately from low poly to something smooth special, and we're going to animate it. And if you want to turn it back to the low poly stuff, just right click it and click shade flat, and it'll go back. So I'm just going to leave it to right click and shade smooth because it looks attractive and it is low poly actually. I hope you guys like it. I'm just gonna wait for the next. I'm just gonna make another tutorial for the animation of this water. So if you guys like this, please subscribe our channel. Click the bell icon and like the video, and do comment so we know how much you guys liked it, or if it helped you. And if you have suggestions regarding the instructions or shading or anything else, I am here to listen to you. This is your host Ali Rator from TechWrath. Peace and see you later, guys. Bye bye.